Hi dear students, welcome to my class. Okay, in the last class we are discussing discussed about the coal gas components. That is coal gas, coal tar, and coke. All these we completed. Uh, in the next class I will discuss the petroleum. In this class I am going to discuss some questions. These questions are sent by one of your friend. So these are some interesting questions to solve like CET questions. Okay, Nama. So I am going to solve some questions in this session or in this video. So after that I will continue the chapter. Okay, now this some of these questions are related to the second chapter, that is metals and non-metals. Okay, that's why I am going to discuss these questions. So the first question is like that: which one of the following types of medicines used for the treating of indigestion? Indigestion. Which chemicals or which medicines are used for the this indigestion problem? Acidity. What we having so much of food or is there in our stomach? HCl acid is produced. So at the time of acid produced, it gives pain or irritation to our stomach. That's why we have to drink some water. That water is acts as a base. So such type of chemicals or medicines we call as dash. Like means this is the question. So what we call that medicines for using the digestion process? We have four options: antibiotic, analgesics, antacids, and antiseptics. Okay, Nama. First option is antibiotic. So bio. That means you have to use these antibiotics are used to cold, cough, and soring of throats like this flu. For these diseases, we have to use the antibiotics. Okay, na? Or next is analgesics. Second option is analgesics. This analgesics means it is used to are used as a painkillers. Used for the painkillers. Next, antacids, acidity. So this third option is the right answer. Antacids. This antacids is used for the indigestion process. Okay. This is the correct answer. Antiseptics. Antiseptics are the chemicals to stop the growth of microorganisms on the skin. This is all about first question. The right answer is antacids. Okay, and I will send the questions to you in group. I will send the all these questions and read once that questions. After that reading, you have to observe this video. Then only you have a clear picture, a clear idea about these questions. So the next question is the reaction of sodium with oxygen. Reaction of sodium, sodium with oxygen. Sodium with oxygen. So already we are discussed in the last chapter. Sodium is a metal. Sodium is a metal. When metals reacts with oxygen, which produces or this is which type of reactions? Okay, na? So this is endo options are like this: endothermic and spontaneous. You are already well known with the endothermic reactions and exothermic reactions. What is meant by endothermic reactions? Endothermic reactions means heat observed in this process. Heat is observed. If you touch that reaction beaker or any beakers to after reaction occurs, it feels like a cool. Why? Because it observes the temperature from the surroundings. And spontaneous reactions means it occurs itself without any initiation. Means if I am giving a simple general example. I wish myself I am going to my house. This is myself. Means it occurs its own. Means my own wish I am going to house. This is without initiation. So if you tell to sir there is no class for today, if you tell like this, I am giving a stop to class. I am going to stop a class. You give the initiation to me. This is general example. Like any reactions, it occurs its own or it occurs itself. That's we call as spontaneous reactions. Spontaneous means it occurs itself on its own or means without any initiation. Some reactions needs temperature, pressure, like these conditions. There is no need of conditions but the spontaneous reactions. Spontaneous means itself or it occurs without any initiation. Initiation means giving start to giving. Okay, so this is spontaneous. The second option, exothermic. Exothermic reactions mean heat is liberated in this process. During chemical reaction, heat is liberated. And the continuity. First option is like this, endothermic and spontaneous. Second option is exothermic and non-spontaneous. Quite opposite to spontaneous. Spontaneous reactions, non-spontaneous. Non-spontaneous means it needs some initiation. It may be temperature, pressure, light, or any catalyst like this. These are all somewhat a high level knowledge. This is all you study in the PUC level. Okay. So simply you have to add these questions, then only you will feel easy in higher classes. Okay. Just observe. So endothermic means heat absorbed. Exothermic means heat is released. Like this, spontaneous means without any initiation. Itself it undergoing reactions. Non-spontaneous means non-spontaneous means it needs initiation. Okay, Nama? This is what non-spontaneous. So the third option is exothermic and spontaneous. The last option is endothermic and non-spontaneous. So the correct answer is exothermic. Exothermic and spontaneous. Why? Sodium is a active metal. When sodium reacts with the air or oxygen, it reacts vigorously without any initiation. That's why heat is released. That's why this is exothermic. Without any initiation, it reacts easily. That's why, because this sodium is very reactive metal. That's why the correct answer is exothermic and spontaneous. The next question. An example for detergent. Where you use the detergents, your parents, especially your mother, use the detergents to wash the clothes. We have soaps and detergents. This soap may be acidic or neutral. Acidic in nature or neutral in nature. But detergents is always basic in nature. And also this detergents means it is a surfactants or mixture of surfactants is used to cleaning the cloths. At the time, washing powders is there now. That washing powder we call as detergents. We have some chemicals. The first chemical is sodium lauryl sulfates. These sodium salts are used in detergents and also soaps. Sodium salts. And also this is basic sulfate. Sodium lauryl sulfate is a base. That is one of a salt sulfate. Okay, nama? And then next is sodium palmate. Sodium palmate. This is one of the compound used in soap. Used in soap. SOAP, soap. Next is sodium stearate. Sodium stearate. Sodium stearate. This is used as a emulsifying agent. Emulsions like milks and emulsions are there na. Paints and emulsions, milks and emulsions are used. So this chemical sodium palmate is used in soaps and sodium stearate is used in emulsifying agent, and sodium linolate. Sodium linolate. This is also we don't use in the detergents. That's why the first correct answer is the first one, that is sodium lauryl sulfate. Sodium lauryl sulfate used in the detergents. Okay. Okay. Next. So this is next question. Which of the following has a double bond? Which one has double bond? Double bonds. So this single line represented as a single bond. Right now. This double lines we represent as a double bond. This is a triple bond. So this is all about we will study in the chemical bonding chapter. Okay, nama? Single bond. This is single covalent bonds, sharing of electrons, single bonds. So the first you have to observe the options. The first option is A, that is ethane and oxygen. Ethane and oxygen. Option B is nitrogen, N2, and ethane. And oxygen and methane, CH4, methane. And this is C, and D is methane and CH4 and carbon dioxide. These are the options. This question has more informations. Okay, first you have to identify this single line represents single bond, double line represents double bond, triple bond represents this triple bond. How can we tell this have compounds having single bond, double bond, and triple bonds? This is all because from the electronic configuration. Configuration. This electronic configuration is derived from the atomic number. Okay, these atomic numbers are nothing but number of electrons or number of protons. This is what atomic number. If you know very well with the atomic number and electronic configuration, you can easily identify single bond, double bond, and triple bonds. Now you have no idea about these bonds. I am simply saying this question is in wrong manner. So why? Because in organic chemistry we have to study alkanes, hydrocarbons. This is hydrocarbons. In that hydrocarbons we have to three sub-branches: alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes. Why? First ANE, alkane, and alkene, alkene, and ALKYNE. ANE represents single bond. ANE, alkane. ANE represents single bond. ENE represents double bonds. This is double bonds. YNE, ine, alkane means single bond. En means double bond. Ine means triple bonds. I means triple bonds. Okay, Nama. So, examples for this alkane: methane, methane. You have to identify ANE. Methane is like alkane. We have to call as methane. Means meth represents a single carbon atom. Ethane, ETHANE, ethane. Here also ane represents single bonds. That's why here ethane is present. ANE means a single bonds. In question they are asking double bonds. There is no double bond in ethane. That's why the first answer is wrong. But in this oxygen has a double bonds. Oxygen has double bonds. O2 like this. Structure of oxygen is O2 like this. O double bond O. But in this ethane there is no double bonds. That's why the first answer is wrong. The next is nitrogen N2. So in between two nitrogens we have to observe the triple bond. We have to observe the triple bonds N. This is all comes from the electronic configurations. If you know well with the electronic configuration, we can easily understand this. Otherwise, there is no idea of this. Okay, your one of student asked all these questions. That's why I am going to discuss. Okay, simply some more questions are there. And one more, oxygen here. Oxygen is double bond, having double bond, but this methane, how to clearly observe this structure of methane. This is CH4 is a methane. Carbon is a central atom. This carbon atom has 4 hydrogen atoms. These are all single bonds. If you see in the oxygen, double bond is present. Double bond is present in oxygen, but in CH4 there is no double bond. Here also the second option is wrong and third option is also wrong. The next is option D, that is CH4. Once again CH4 and carbon dioxide C. So CO2, C double bond O, here also single bond O. From this Lewis structures, they can change their valency or shift double bonds. These are all you will study in the higher classes. So this answer is also wrong answer. Simply the question is wrong. So next is elements with the atomic number 18. Elements with the atomic number 18 belongs to which period and which group? So if you observe the periodic table, Mendeleev periodic table. This Mendeleev periodic table has 7 periods. 7 periods and 18 groups. 18 groups, periods. 7 periods and 18 groups. Periods means this like this. Columns like this. We have columns in the periodic tables. Groups means columns like this. Columns. If you observe the periodic table, you can clearly understand. The simple periodic table is like this. Like this, we have a periodic table. These like these lines and like these lines we have in the periodic tables. These arrows, this like arrows, rows, ROWs, rows we call as periods. 7 periods, 7 rows are there, and 18 columns or 18 groups are present from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 18. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 periods are there and 7 periods are there and 18 groups are there. If I giving any atomic number, if I am giving 80, this is the atomic number. This atomic number where situated in the periodic table. How can we identify? From the electronic configuration. From the electronic configuration. First I am going to write the electronic configuration. 1s2, 2s2, 3s2, 1s2, 2s2, sorry, 2p6, 2p6, and then 3s2, 3p6. So here 2262 is their number of electrons, and this S and P are the orbitals are shells. This is all about we will study in the next classes. That means higher classes. Up to 9th or 10th we will study in this deeply. Electronic configurations, shells, electrons, protons, neutrons, all these we will study in the higher classes. Okay. First we have to observe. See, 2 plus 2 4, 4 plus 6 10 right now, and 10 plus 2 12, 12 plus 6 18. 18 atomic number, 18 electrons. Okay na? The atomic number means number of electrons in a neutral atom, neutral element. Okay na? So 18 elements. This is a completely filled subshells, completely filled orbital. That's why we call as halogens. From this we have to know that halogens. This is comes under 18th group. 18th group. That means last 18th group. And period. See this 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 is there now. These are the periods. That means this is element. The 18th atomic number 18 element is argon. Okay na? This argon is present in a third period and 18th group. Third period, 18th group. Okay na? So the next question is the pH of the gastric juice releases during the digestion. So here the name indicates gastric juice. Which is the gastric juice? HCl is the gastric juice. When we call as the solution is acidic, their pH is less than 7. If it is 7, we call as neutral. If it is more than 7, we call as that is basic. If less than 7, we call as acidic. The options are like this. pH is less than 7, more than 7, equal to 7, none of the above. The first option is correct answer. Less than 7 is the correct answer for this question. The pH of gastric juice is less than 7. The next is next question. The gas liberated when acid reacts with a metal. So when metals reacts with acid, it produces salt and hydrogen gas. So the gases options are like this: hydrogen, sodium. Sodium is a metal. That's why this is wrong answer. Sodium is wrong answer. Carbon dioxide. There is no carbon dioxide. And oxygen. No oxygen. Only hydrogens. When metals reacts with acid, it produces salt and hydrogen gas. That's why the correct answer is hydrogen. Option A. I will send the questions to your group. Okay, Nama? See once that questions and this video. You have a clear idea. Okay. Some more questions are there and I will discuss in the next class. Okay. Thank you.